Hi, I'm Christian Duff, Angus Australia's General Manager of Genetic Improvement. Angus Australia is extremely excited to advise members and industry that our member-based organisation is now participating in the World Angus Evaluation. So what is the World Angus Evaluation, or the WAE? It is a globally focused genetic analysis of Angus cattle. It combines data sources, being phenotypes, genotypes and pedigree, from the American Angus Association, Canadian Angus Association and Angus Australia, with the results being expected progeny differences, or EPDs, which are very similar to estimated breeding values, or EBVs, for a specific list of traits on Angus size. The WAE is facilitated by Angus Genetics Incorporated, or AGI, which is a subsidiary of the American Angus Association. The WAE is a result of several years of collaborative R&D between the founding breeder associations. This involved multiple test evaluations and validation procedures to ensure that the phenotypes are compatible across databases and that environmental differences such as age and category groups are properly modelled. An important step in the feasibility stage was to understand the relationship between animals across the three populations. To provide an effective evaluation, the populations must have overlap or links with each other through pedigree or genomic relationships. This graph represents the overlap in the populations based on the genomics of the animals. The plot shows large clusters of dots that represents individual animals from all three countries. This shows how closely related the individual populations overlap. Individual colours or trees are not clustered together themselves, they are clustered on top of one another, which supports that even though these animals have been in different herd books and countries, relationships among these animals are very strong. This means the data being shared is valuable to inform genetic predictions of animals in different countries, particularly across America, Australia and Canada. The results from the WAE are available via a program-specific sire search tool. This displays sires that meet specific reporting criteria. For those sires, 13 EPDs are displayed across calving ease, growth, fertility, structural soundness and carcass merit. To access the WA resources and sire search tool, please refer to the Angus Australia website and the World Angus Evaluation central page. Please also do not hesitate to contact staff at Angus Australia for further information. Australia is participating in the World Angus Evaluation for the following reasons. First being collaboration. The World Angus community working closely together on common initiatives will benefit Angus breeders across the globe, including Angus Australia members. Second reason that we are participating in this program is for strategy. One of our strategies in our strategic plan is to enable the genetic benchmarking of Australian and New Zealand animals that are registered with Angus Australia with other major Angus populations around the world. And this allows us to then compare it to America and Canada, the other large Angus population in the registered sector. The third being for selection purposes. This will enhance the selection and genetic benchmarking of Angus size in the global Angus population through one evaluation on a common evaluation platform and language or currency. Also, capability is a big one here. Angus Australia has the required expertise, relationships, data and data pipelines to participate in the World Angus Evaluation. And this includes all the dedicated performance data from our members being collected over the years and through our programs such as the Angus Sire Benchmarking Program. The last reason for being involved in this is for genetic trade. We think this will further invigorate trade of international Angus genetics, including potential for the targeted marketing of Angus genetics from the Southern Hemisphere into Northern America. Additionally, the significant influence of North American genetics on the Australian Angus population is well understood. For example, in 2023, within the 20 most widely used sires with registered progeny across 2023 and 2022, 10 were US bred sires. Out of the remaining 10, 6 were sons of US bred sires. This shows why participation in the World Angus Evaluation is important to allow more informed selection from the North American population. There are 13 EPDs published from the World Angus Evaluation covering calving ease, growth, carcass and structural soundness. Specific EPDs are calving ease direct, calving ease maternal, birth weight, weaning weight, yearling weight, scrotal circumference, milk, claw set, foot angle, carcass weight, marbling, ribeye area and fat thickness. It's important to note a few things about these traits though. Additional EBVs may be added to the World Angus Evaluation in the future. This will depend on further R&D to assess technical feasibility, including phenotype compatibility. Another thing to note is due to the production system specific nature of selection indexes, no standard selection indexes will be published at this stage from the World Angus Evaluation. The third thing to note is most EPDs will be listed in an imperial unit of measurement, for example pounds, not kilograms. Please refer to the description of each EPD for further information on this on the Angus Australia website. Expected progeny difference, EPD, is a genetic prediction of how future progeny of a selection animal, such as a sire and dam, are expected to perform relative to the progeny of other animals. EPDs are expressed in units of measure for the trait with a plus or minus value. They are the usual language for genetic description used in the North American beef industry. EPDs are like EBVs, being estimated breeding values, in that they are estimates of genetic differences. However, EPDs focus on describing progeny differences, while EBVs focus on describing the genetic differences in the selection candidates themselves. Put simply, an EPD is half an EBV, all other things being equal. The accuracy values calculated from the World Angus Evaluation are known as Beef Improvement Federation or BIF accuracies. Like EPD, BIF accuracies are the usual language for accuracy used in the North American beef industry. Compared to accuracy values we see from TACE, known as traditional accuracies, BIF accuracies are generally lower, particularly for young animals, and are slower to increase in value as more data becomes available, such as phenotypes, genotypes, or progeny phenotypes. The difference in scale is simply a function of the different methods used to calculate the same thing, like pounds compared to kilograms or inches compared to centimetres. The relationship between TACE and BIF accuracies are shown in this graph. For example, BIF accuracy of 0.2 or 20% is equivalent to a TACE accuracy of 0.6 or 60%. Yes, Angus Australia's involvement in the World Angus Evaluation will not replace our bi-weekly TACE program. World Angus Evaluation results will only be released on sires on a quarterly basis at this stage. Regionally calibrated EBVs and indexes from TACE will remain the focus point for everyday Angus selection by our Australian and New Zealand members and industry. You should expect sires to rank similarly, but not exactly the same when comparing World Angus Evaluation EPDs to TACE EBVs for the same trait. This is a result of significantly more data from North America included in the World Angus Evaluation, along with some differences in the analysis models and trait definitions, such as carcass traits are age adjusted in the WAE, but weight adjusted in the TACE evaluation. This was further explored for a sample group of Angus sires with 200 or more progeny registered with Angus Australia, and there was about just over 1,000 animals in this sample. For this sample, the World Angus Evaluation EPDs to TACE EBV correlations for weaning weight and marbling to IMF were strong and positive at 0.96 and 0.87 respectively, but they weren't a correlation of 1. The EPD to EBV relationship are also shown in the following graphs, with each dot representing a sire. World Angus Evaluation EPDs can be used similarly to TACE EBVs in selection, that is, to compare the genetics of sires, the specific traits that are important to your breeding objective. This can be achieved by comparing the specific expected progeny differences for 2 or more sires, or comparing the EPDs of an individual to benchmark values like the EPD average or percentiles. For saying this, Angus Australia strongly recommends that the TACE EBVs and indexes remain the main focus point for everyday selection for Australian and New Zealand producers, as they are calibrated specifically for this region.